her way. And so, good morning and welcome to Rotary, everyone, and happy autumnal equinox. We're
Good
now in
afternoon.
fall, can't you tell, everyone? And let's see, Idotha Pep, my friend, are you still with us? Would you mind leading us in prayer today?
All right, let's go to God. Father, we thank you for yet another day of freedom. Thank you for health. Thank you for joy. And Father, as we go through our meeting today, pray that we will continue to have love one for another. And we thank you for how you have pulled us together in the Rotary. And I ask you to continue to bless us as we lead forward in our community and in our nation to do what we can for those that are in our friendship circle and abroad. And in the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pep, for that. And Brian, would you lead us in pledge today?
I will. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Brian. And Leo. Leo, would you please lead us in song for Uche to learn this for next week?
Great, and we're all going to sing it.
I'm giving you the four-way test in replacement.
So here we go. R-O-T-A-R-Y, that spells Rotary. R-O-T-A-R-Y is known on land and sea. From north to south, from east to west, one prophet moves who serves the best. R-O-T-A-R-Y, that spells Rotary.
All right. Thank you, Leo. Uche, I hope you got that. It's recording, not a problem. We'll send it to you so you can practice all week.
I didn't want to
Thank you.
stumble, so I wrote it down.
So you're not taking my replacement. Is that what it is?
We're gonna throw you into the mix. That's right. That's right.
I mean the four-way test replacement. Are you not taking it?
You know what? We're always open to suggestions. And I think Leo even has a songbook. And so we're always happy to learn some new things. Yeah.
Okay, so let me know when you want me to give it to you.
You got it. You got it. Let's see. Do we have any visiting Rotarians today? I don't think I saw Cynthia today. We do have some guests of Rotarians. My guest is Christine Hoskinson. She is with the Vet Tech program and she's been with us before. Say hello, Christine.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Super eager to learn more about us, and she has her checkbook in hand. And so let's all welcome Christine back. Oh, we got a bunch of folks coming in. And let's see, and of course we have Cissy with us here today, but we will officially get to her in just 1 minute. And we have Lucy here on a couple of devices. Hello, Lucy. She's muted. It's okay. I'm glad that you're here with us today. Thanks so much for that. I hope I didn't miss anybody else. Okay, we don't have any Rotary birthdays this week. We don't have any wedding anniversaries this week. And we are plumb out of Rotary anniversaries this week. So no cake today. Sorry to say that.
Oh dear.
Do we have any Happy Dollar announcements? All right, not a problem. Is Charles here? I don't see Charles with us today yet, but in place of that, let's talk foundation. Of course, the Rotary Foundation is how we do good works in the world. We've already learned about what the annual fund does and how the annual fund helps us to do good works in the world. Let's talk about how we can give. In the chat box, there is a link, and that gives you more information on Rotary Direct. What's Rotary Direct, you ask? Glad you asked. Rotary Direct is how you can give directly to the Rotary Foundation as a one-time gift or as a recurring gift. It's easy, it's painless, and you don't have to think about how you give your treasure to the Rotary Foundation. For more information, go to the website or speak to your very favorite Director of Foundation, Charles Clements. Thanks so much. That concludes our Rotary Foundation update for today. More good news. Your board has been working diligently at planning our next in-person meeting. That's right, we're coming out of hiding, y'all. We're gonna get some sun and we're gonna have lunch together. Next Tuesday, we plan on meeting in person at Cherry Tree Tea Room, our usual place. It is not obligatory, and so if you would prefer to remain on Zoom, worry not, it will be a hybrid meeting. And so it'll be a full Zoom format, but we will also have an in-person format. The way we are gonna try and handle this is we met with Amanda last week, and so we're gonna be working off of a limited menu. Obviously, we can't do the buffet anymore. And so each plate will have to be plated by the restaurant staff. And so we'll have a short menu of 4 or 5 different options. They're going to be their staple things. You know, we'll have a salad in there. There'll be a sandwich in there and a nice hot hearty meal. I haven't gotten a menu mock-up of that yet, but we will share that as soon as possible. The price will still be the same for each of those meals. And our seating arrangements, we're at somewhat limited capacity. Officially, we will be at 75, or restaurants are at 75% capacity. But what that means in Cherry Tree is the large 6-seater tables will actually seat 4 people. And then the small round tables will seat 2 people. And so we actually have a full front of the restaurant capacity of about 44, which until the coaches come in, I don't think we ever reach that much space anyways, or that high of a population. And so I don't expect that to be a problem. We are working on the details of how to pay for the lunches, because of course, in general, we would have that tacked on to our monthly invoice, but we haven't been doing that lately. And so there'll be somewhere between bringing cash or a card for Allison, or we might even try to tack that on to our monthly invoice. But we will have those details hammered out soon and get you all of those details quickly. In the interim, do we have any questions on that new meeting format?
Sounds brilliant.
Thank you, Uche. We are certainly looking forward to seeing everybody in person.
Justin.
Yes, Norma. Hello.
Hi, I didn't know if you could hear me or not. I just wanted to let you know I'm here.
Thank you so much for being with us. We certainly have missed you, Norma. Thanks for being here. All right, so that will wrap up our in-person hybrid meeting announcements. Look for an email with more details on that. Thanks so much. And this brings us to our second reading of 2 of our prospective members. The first is Terry Fitzwater. He is the publisher of the Kingsville Record, and he has been proposed by Jay Dean. Our second is Lucy Villarreal. She is the Assistant Dean of the College of Education and Human Performance at TAMUK, and she was proposed by Steve Bain. They've both been approved by the board and read once. If anybody knows of any reason why neither or either should not be a Rotarian, please do reach out to your very favorite director. We will have a new member orientation coming up soon, not just for those two, but anybody that would like a refresher crash course on Kingsville Rotary. More details on that coming up soon. And that brings us to our feature presentation for the day. J. Dean, would you like to introduce to us our honored guest?
I would be pleased to. I have not met Cissy yet, but from what I've read about her, not only is she a Kingsville native, but even more importantly, she is the new superintendent for KISD. And I'm sure, Justin, as we've been communicating with her, there may be maybe an application attached to one of the emails for her to be on the lookout for. So with that, let me introduce Dr. Cecilia Reynolds-Perez. Doctor, thank you for coming with us. And if you'll unmute your microphone, I'll let you take it away.
Well, I appreciate the invite, and it's so wonderful to see all y'all smiling faces. I can't wait to meet y'all in person as well. There's a lot going on, actually. We're kind of going back old school. We're kind of trying to go back to the time when I grew up here in Kingsville, and with the heyday. I mean, it was just so much pride in the Bremas. And there's so many people who graduated with me, and so many alumni, and many of you, I'm sure, are alumni. And you remember, so many great memories. And I'm trying to bridge that, have some of our alumni. I'm going to start, tapping into any alumni and have them videotape some messages to the schools where they grew up. So if you went to Clayburg or to Harvey or to, any one of those schools, I'm going to want to tap into you and have you send a video message to our students. I want our students to see how successful they can be, how they can become, and the impact that they can make in our society. There's a lot of things that, and I said when I first got appointed, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, because I know kind of the roller coaster that KISD has been on for the past several years. I've watched from the sidelines. And because Kingsville is so passionate to me, because I grew up here, I wanted to come over here and see if there's something I could do to help make a difference, because I've seen, I've witnessed, I've been a part of, I've had to lead schools, turn them around from, some of the bottom schools, and they've turned around to successes. I was only able to do that because the team of teachers and staff and the community pulled together to help us make that happen. I was at W.B. Ray High School for 10 years as principal. We had 2,100 students. So, I'm very comfortable working with large numbers of students. I love kids. I'm going to go meet with actually what I'm calling my Superintendent Ambassadors today at the high school. I'm meeting with 10 juniors and seniors, and I want to hear their voice. I feel it's extremely important to find out from them, what are their needs? What do they wish could have been done for them these past years as they were growing up here through KISD? And so that way we can help turn around the future of KISD. The teachers and staff that I've met and the parents, they're hungry for some guidance, for some leadership, and we're ready to go. The board has been very supportive of me. They understand that there's some changes that need to be made. And I always use the quote from Albert Einstein, the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same things over and over and expect different results. Well, there are changes happening, and I've been very transparent about everything. I believe communication is key, so I've been communicating at least twice weekly with our staff via email, our board, and I send robocalls out to the parents, because I want everybody to hear consistent messages and not anything to get confusing or what is actually happening. I want to be very visible, and I want to be very available. So we're planning a town hall meeting on October the 5th. It'll be at one of the high school domes at 5:30. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we have to restrict the number of participants, so we'll have a little clicker there. And I'll put that out on a flyer, and we've just decided that actually this morning. We've made some detailed decisions. And so we're going to be sending some information out about that. And it'll be live streamed, so that way anybody who can't come in, because if by some chance we reach capacity, that would be a good thing, but also I want for everybody to be able to sit in on it, hear it. I want to be able to answer any questions that I can, and if I can't answer something immediately, then I want to take down the question and make sure that we do follow up, and that they'll see on our Facebook page and on our Twitter or on our website follow up to any questions they may have. We currently have a parent survey that we posted on our website and on our on our social media. And so we're hoping to gather some questions and anything that parents, that we need to find out from our parents about starting phase 2, which I'll go into. And so some of those questions I want to address at the town hall meeting as well. Phase 2 starts Monday, which means right now we've been going remote. Doing remote learning, and as you can tell from the whole nation or the world, starting school during COVID, the time of COVID, has been quite an adventure, okay? First, getting technology devices into the hands of our students. You know how difficult it is. I hate to get a brand new laptop because I feel like it takes forever to change and get a username, password, and do all that. Well, our tech department of 4 people have been doing that with 2,500 devices. We've found that many, many parents are actually grandparents, and they're struggling with logging on and learning just the basics. So a lot of our work has been going on with that. Also getting hotspots for all our students who need hotspots. And even our campuses are needing some hotspots because the infrastructure needs some work. So there are all those things that we've been thinking about. And since our students are going to start on Monday, the 28th, we're only starting at about 25% capacity. It'll be approximately 5 students per class. And those are the students most in need. Those are the students who within the past 3 to 4 weeks maybe have struggled considerably. And we're going to bring those in first. And then that way we can start acclimating them back into the schedule that we should be starting on phase 3, which will be October 26th, when everybody has the option to come in. We've also allowed our teachers to bring their own children because we knew that that was a hardship for a lot of our teachers who have children. And so we allowed them to do that, and they were very appreciative of that. So that's where we are with that. And if you ever wonder, well, is there anything you need? Well, coming into phase 2, it looks like now we're gonna need to make sure we have enough surge protectors or extension cords, because the devices are gonna need charging. And some of the Chromebooks that we have, they only last maybe a couple of hours, so we need to keep that going. So that seems to be our next need. The devices seem to be working pretty well, so I think we're okay there. Bus transportation, you know, we're going to need to make sure that, and we've been very transparent as well with the parents about the fact that social distancing in all the districts that we've talked to in Region 2 is almost impossible depending on the number of students that are on the bus. So we're highly encouraging parents, if they can transport their child to and from school, to consider doing that. But no matter what, they're going to have to wear a mask. That is going to be required. All students will have to wear a mask. We are going to provide, we have already provided all of our teachers and staff with the shield, to wear a shield. We've ordered some shields for our students as well, so that's kind of a double layer protection. In talking with some of the superintendents from the surrounding areas, some of them purchased those science board looking things. They're plastic. And they've discovered that the kids don't really like them. They fall or they're hard to carry. And so some of the districts have decided, you know what, let's just go ahead and buy the shields that they can wear. So that's what we decided to do. We're kind of learning from some of the other districts that started in person sooner. We didn't start sooner because I arrived August 21st, and that would have been 4 days before school started, or 5 days before school started. And so there was so much that had to get done that I had already been planning at West Oso. That was my previous district. We had been planning since April. And so to try to get all that done as quickly as possible and efficiently and effectively as possible, you know, we had to push back the start of school. So that's why we started school a week later remotely, and we're not starting in person until this coming Monday. Let's see, we're hiring tutors. We are looking for college students or retired teachers or just anyone maybe who is looking for a temporary job that wants to work with children and make a difference in the transformation of KISD. We're paying $25 an hour if they have a degree or if they have a certification. And we're paying $22 an hour if they have at least 60 college hours. But for Clayburgh Elementary, we're paying $2 more. $27, and then it was $25, $24, because Clayburgh Elementary is on a tip grant, so they can pay that extra $2 more. So if you know of anybody who's looking for a tutoring position, tell them to log on to our website and give us their name. Since we started advertising this past Friday, we've gotten at least about 20 people that have started applying, so that's wonderful. So if you can help us spread the word for that, our kids could use them. If you see any of our Brahmas, please lend them a smile and ask them how are they doing, because many of our Brahmas need either you know, an adult that they can turn to, that they feel like, you know what, somebody's rooting for me, because we know they're going to achieve great things. I know our teachers are as well. And so if you see any of our teachers, whether it's at HEB or Walmart or Hobby Lobby or wherever, just let them know, please, that you're rooting for them, because it's a lot of work for us to do, but I know it's going to happen. And I'm here if you have any questions for me.
Thank you so much, sissies. We do have some coming into the chat box, and one of them is, will the high school continue with college level courses?
Definitely, yes. We're going to continue with college level courses. We are analyzing our college and career readiness program and our CTE program, our career and tech program as well, because I want to make sure that our students are getting the best that they can. We've realigned some of the classes and how we offer them, because like Algebra 2 was being offered as juniors, and we've moved that to the sophomore area, the sophomore time, because so much of the PSAT is covered in Algebra 2, and they take the PSAT in junior year. And my goal is we're going to get a National Merit Scholar sometime in my career, okay? And that is a big deal. And we want our students to do very, very well on their PSATs, because we know that that's how many scholarships are designated. So definitely we have dual credit still. I have a meeting actually scheduled with Dr. Bain and Dr. Villarreal on Friday, I believe it's at 3. And because I want to establish even a stronger partnership with TAMU K. Also, I have a meeting with a person from the Naval Base as well, because I really want to see how we can kind of bridge something there as well with aeronautics, or definitely with our CBs, to get them to volunteer in our campuses as well, because many of our students, you know, that might be a path that they want to take. So we are looking at realigning our paths to make sure that no classes that are offered are just local credit. You know, they're going to be credit towards an endorsement, and to ensure that they are college ready. Right now, our students, we are targeting the students who are in the CARES program that still needed to recover credits. And a lot of that, they're going to be ready to take the TSI math and reading and pass it. So that way they won't have to take all those remedial courses if they decide to go to college. So those are some, just a few things that we're targeting, but there's many that we're making sure. But we're not doing it so much that we're stretched thin. It's all focused, you know, when we're talking about high school, we're starting in junior highs, in the middle schools, to make sure that they're starting some of those credits then, so that way they have more room in high school, and to make sure that they fulfill an endorsement.
And so, speaking along those lines, can you explain to us what the early college high school aspect means. Can you explain that to us?
Okay, well, early college high school, it's where they have the opportunity to take, to achieve an associate's degree. I come from early college high school from West Oso, and then at CCISD we had early college as well. And but what we're finding over the past 10 years of early college is that many students, as long as they complete their 42 hours, then they won't have wasted any hours when they get into college. And that's more of a teach piece that we want to make sure that we're sharing with everyone. It's kind of when I had the International Baccalaureate program at Ray High School. Even if they didn't achieve the IB diploma, if they were an IB candidate and achieved college hours towards that, they're on the right path. They're achieving, they're definitely gaining something from it. So we are, actually, we already had our leader of early college high school, and one of my executive directors went and visited the early college high schools in Corpus Christi, and looking at the blueprints and seeing some things that I believe we can tweak to make even better and stronger. We want to have more graduates, and we want to have more students achieve those 42 hours. But students can still take dual credit classes and not have to be in the early college program. That's at any high school that offers dual credit, or perhaps UT on-ramps. I'm looking at UT on-ramps, but I'm not sure about that. I really want to develop a stronger partnership with our TAMU-K.
Wonderful, thank you. And so back to the tutoring, is that going to be Zoom tutoring or is that face-to-face?
That's going to be, we're going to expect the person to be here, the tutors to be here, just like our teachers are. And if our students are on Zoom, like right now I see about maybe 15 people, you know, then the tutor that's there in that same class has their own device, and they can help the teacher see which student looks a little lost, you know, and have their own little virtual session with them. Face to face, then they'll be there. Again, it's during the day tutoring. That's what, in my experience, that's been the best type of tutoring, because you capture the kids immediately when you see that they're already veering off, they're getting lost. If we try to have after school tutoring, those are fine sometimes, but a lot of times kids either they work after school, they have to babysit after school, they have extracurricular activities, which most of the time the coaches are very good about still having tutoring, but or they're exhausted. And so during the day, if we capture them while they're in session with a teacher, then to me, that's been the most effective tool I've used in every school that I've been a principal at, and then the district where I was at. And then we have Saturday blitzes, maybe sometimes like 9 to 12, but that gets closer kind of in the spring. But we need to find out sooner than later where they're at.
So speaking of extracurricular activities, how are we juggling these right now? What has changed about extracurricular activities right now?
Well, we have our first football game this Saturday against West Oso, I mean, coincidentally, and it's going to be over here. It's at home. It's here in Kingsville. Well, we're going to have to limit the number of participants that can attend. And so each BREMA can have 4 people. They'll get 4 tickets, I guess, for the people that can attend. They have to be seated, social distance, you know, and thankfully TAMU-K is helping us with that. The way they have it set up already, we're following their lead. For concession stands, you know, they're going to handle that as well. But we are not allowing any children, any students in that are under 15 years of age unless they are with a parent. Okay, they have to be with a parent because I guess in the past, traditionally, like junior high students or elementary students, they go and they get left off there at the games, and they're just running around all over the place and touching everything and being with everybody, and we can't have that right now with COVID. So we're going to be very diligent about making sure that any children under the age of 15 cannot be there without a parent, and they'll have to walk them to the concession stand as well and back. Wear a mask, of course, for sure.
Great, thanks. We have another question regarding police officers in the schools.
Yes, we have 2 SROs. They're like security resource officers. that we've started this year. We're working in conjunction with the Sheriff's Office, and we really appreciate their support. They're paying for one, and we're paying for one. They're going to conduct some, in fact, I just introduced them last week to the high school because I went and met with the high school. Met with each staff. But they were able to share with the high school teachers their role, because they're distinctive roles, you know, between what they can and cannot do as far as an administrator or an SRO. They're going to conduct some active shooter training for us. I was on the governor's board of directors for the Texas School Safety Center and helped with the governor's plan for school safety. Just because COVID is around doesn't mean there may not be an active shooter. So we always have to be prepared for that. So they're going to conduct some active shooter training for all our schools, as a matter of fact, because since we don't have as many students here right now, they don't have to do as much patrolling. So that's how they're going to help us. They're going to go and conduct active shooter training for every staff.
I see. Speaking of emergency management, we of course know that there are FEMA domes on campus. Can you explain how those work to those of us that have just seen them but don't know how they're activated, how they're used in times of emergencies, how they're used in times of non-emergencies? Can you expound on that for us?
Okay, well, like last week we were trying to prepare, you know, because we didn't know what Beta was going to do. And we were able to offer our help to Judge Madrid about maybe deploying some buses if they needed some buses to transport. As far as the domes, depending on the size of the storm or, you know, what category of the hurricane, we're working with our engineers and architects to make sure that whoever we place in there, or whoever the judge decides to place in there actually, that it will withstand. So that's still, you know, those are constant conversations that we're having with our judge. They're pretty interesting. If you haven't been to the domes, they're pretty nice. They're very, very nice. That's where I'm going to have the town hall meeting. So we just need to make sure that they can withstand whatever category of hurricane that we may be experiencing.
Good information. Did anybody else have anything to ask of our new superintendent? I'm seeing none. Cissy, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
We really appreciate that you took the time out. I bet you have a couple of things to do today, and I'm glad that you took some time out of your lunch hour to come and spend it with us. You're welcome at any time. And I bet if you look under your door, J. Dean might have already slid an application under there for you. So
if it's not there already, it's
good. You're good.
So thank you so much for that. And maybe you can stick around for a couple of minutes in case anybody has some after meeting questions for you.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we do have a few things on the docket coming up this Friday. Of course, we have our Together for Peace lectureship series. The link is in the bulletin that went out today. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask J. Dean about those. Don't forget, next Tuesday is our first hybrid in-person meeting. And what we're going to try and shoot for is, if this goes well, or even if it doesn't go well, we're going to initially shoot for the last Tuesday of the month to be our in-person day. And then we can judge from there if we kind of ramp those up to meeting more frequently. But I think now is the time to do that. And we definitely know that our members are looking forward to seeing each other in person again. The first Saturday in October is our next round of district trainings. These are on foundation, they're on engaging membership, these are on public image, they're on Zoom technical aspects. This is so far just 2 parts, but the season is young. If you have the time, please do consider joining us for those. Go to the district website to register. It's free, but you must register, and that is Rotary5930.org. Thanks so much for your potential participation in that. And don't forget, October is Polio Month, and October 24th is World Polio Day. There are a few things that we have going on here locally. We will be participating again in the RPM, which is Rotary Polio Moto Ride, and this is a district-wide event of our very own motorcycle gang. They're gonna start in Laredo, they'll go down to the valley, they'll come through Kingsville, up to Corpus, out to Alice, and then back over to Laredo. It's a 2-day ride. It was a fantastic event last time we participated. We had, what, Jadine, maybe 40 bikers eating ice cream and sweet tea with us. And so if you have the time that Saturday, do carve it out of your schedule. We will be participating in something there. And Uche, I see that you have a question for us.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. The district training part 1 and part 2. The one we did, is it a different one?
So I think you might be referring to Rotary Leadership Institute.
Oh, okay, you're right there.
Yep,
Yeah,
and so that is a whole separate thing, and worry not, there's always another Rotary Leadership Institute part just around the corner. Uche, I believe you did part 2 with us recently, is that right?
I know I did part 1, and
You did?
I
Okay.
think we did. When did we do part 2?
We've done about 4 since then. But tell you what, let me get with you after this call. Let's figure out which one you did and when we can sign you up for the next one. But
All
thank
right.
you for bringing that up, because maybe I kind of glossed over that. So this, what we have on October 3rd and 17th, this is district training. This is separate from the Rotary Leadership Institute. Very good question,
Okay,
Uche. Thank you for making that distinction. Any more questions on our upcoming events? Okie dokie. Does anybody else have anything for the good of Rotary today? All right, seeing none, we will now go to our weekly Paul Harris drawing winners. That's right, it pays to play in our weekly connects. This week, we had a record week of 4 participants. So let's go to the leaderboard and see who we have. And if we can get a drum roll, please, in 3, 2, 1. Pair 1, congratulations, Jay, Dean, and Joe, both of whom are on this call today. You will be entered into the the quarterly Paul Harris drawing. And don't forget, folks, there's always another opportunity to connect with your fellow members. And now, if you will please join me in the 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? We stand adjourned. Thanks, everybody.